Good morning from Stockholm. Thank you for joining us for this discussion on innovation and transboundary water cooperation. This session is brought to you by Transboundary Water Cooperation Coalition with special support from the government of Slovenia and UNECE. And before I start asking questions, I just would like to say a very few words about the Transboundary Water Cooperation Coalition. It's a very unique initiative that was initiated first by UNECE, and that brings together diverse organizations who work with transboundary water management and water cooperation and water diplomacy. And the key areas that we focus on, we are a number of very diverse organizations, including states, international organizations, non-state actors, and knowledge organizations. And the three key areas, it's advocacy for transboundary water cooperation, knowledge exchange, but also cooperation among the members. And we would like to grow, so if you need more information, please do reach out to us. But now we would like to go to our panel. I will introduce our speakers as I give them questions. And the first speaker is Ambassador Tanya Mišková. Ambassador Mišková is Ambassador at Large for Water Diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Slovenia. So Tanya, so good to have you here. You are such a seasoned water diplomat. So my first question to you is, can you please tell us how technological innovation can contribute to advancing transboundary water cooperation and how it can prepare countries to become more resilient for future challenges?
Martina, in today's transboundary water cooperation, and also I think in the future, one of the major challenges is the effects of climate change. And when it comes to management of water, one of the most cited challenges is data. So the example I'm going to present from the Sava River Basin try to address both of these challenges. In the aftermath of the devastating floods in Bosnia and Herzegovina, which affected also Croatia and Serbia in 2014, the Sava River Basin Commission developed flood forecasting and early warning system. Of course, this is nothing unique. Many river basin organizations have such a system. What is special about this one is the way it's structured. So the host, the server, is in Slovenia, but then it has 3 backup systems, and each of them is based in one of the riparian countries. So this gives them a sense of shared ownership and shared responsibility for the maintenance, for the functioning of the systems. And on top, the members decided recently to upgrade the system for even further accuracy. It's already quite accurate, but for even further accuracy, and to also add forecasting for low flows, which is particularly relevant for the energy and the navigation sector. And they're also using high-resolution imagery from a microsatellite that Slovenia operates, which also kind of complements the trust and the data in the data. So this system helps the climate resilience of the river basin, its adaptive capacity to climate-related hazards with the technology and data they all own and therefore trust.
Thank you very much, Tanya. That's an excellent example. And if you would like to know more, please do reach out to Tanya. And the second question goes to Ziad Kutsia. You are a climate diplomat from EcoPeace Middle East. And I would like us, if you can please tell us more about EcoPeace Climate Diplomacy Program.
Yes, sure. So first thing, I'm from Jordan, living in the capital Amman. And may some of you know, Jordan is the second most water scarce country in the world, with a very limited freshwater resources. We receive fresh water for once a week, around 6 to 7 hours. And for me, growing up with the desire to have an environmental impact, as many youth share this passion, we felt like it's impossible and the future is not that bright. In this situation now, how it's going to be in the next 20 to 30 years. So we felt like our voices is not loud, not clear. So I joined the program, the Climate Diplomacy Program, and it opened my eyes to start seeing and understand the water reality. And for the first time, I met youth participants from Palestine and Israel, for the first time, we worked together. We learned about the climate change. We learned about the diplomacy and the water reality. In the program, we worked and we learned about the dialogue and bilateral and multilateral dialogues on water issues and how that can contribute toward solutions on water. And this cooperation and willingness to work together can build and strengthen relationships between countries and participants and states rather than creating further conflicts. And in this program, it's built on to acknowledge the important role of climate diplomacy in the region, and it strengthens the leadership skills for participants, and it's well designed with the activities and simulation games for the participants to go in depth about the regional realities. And it contains 3 phases. So the first phase, we will work in trainings in Jordan, Palestine, and Israel, where we introduce the participants about their national reality and the climate and water situation. And then we will prepare them to meet their peers in the regional phase, which is the second phase, where we gather all participants to work together with activities, simulation games to reflect their reality. And then the participants will go to the third phase, which is the advanced phase, where they can start working in groups to implement projects in either media and storytelling, advanced diplomacy, and leadership and community.
Thank you very much, Ziad. That's a fascinating program. I think we all would like to know more. But now we will go to our third panelist, who is Kalis Tidimugaya. You are Commissioner for Water Resources Planning and Regulation at the Ministry of Water and Environment in Uganda. So welcome.
Thank you.
And I would like to know, what was the motivation behind the assessment of benefits of transboundary water cooperation between Uganda and Kenya that was supported by organizations like IUCN, IGAD, and UNECE? And what was innovative about this exercise?
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, Uganda and Kenya are part of the Nile Basin. Nile Basin is composed of 11 countries that share the River Nile. And cooperation on the Nile has been ongoing for a long time, since around 1967. But this cooperation has always involved the national level institutions. And oftentimes, the countries would not really appreciate why we work together. So this activity was done to ensure that we demonstrate the benefits of cooperation so that the cooperation between the 2 countries can actually be strengthened. For the first time, we moved transboundary cooperation from the national level to the people on the ground. We made sure that the people appreciate why they need to work together, why they need to solve the problems jointly, but how they can actually benefit. So it was the first time that we actually brought cooperation, transboundary cooperation, to the people, involving the people on the ground across the borders, getting the people to work together to assess the availability of the resource, to assess how they are actually benefiting from the resource, solve the common problems, and how they can work together to benefit more. What was very innovative about this was that for the first time, it was the people identifying the benefits. We worked through multi-sector platforms where we got communities from Kenya and Uganda to sit together, assess the benefits, and realize that you can have a project, say, in Kenya, and benefit people in Uganda. But you can also have a project in Uganda that benefits people in Kenya. We're also able to identify a number of projects that have transboundary significance. We work together with the communities to put them into a band of projects which now have been passed over to development partners for support. And we're already seeing cooperation going on. We have a memorandum of understanding that has been there, but not operational. But right now it is operational, just because the people appreciate the importance of working together and also realizing that they can benefit by working together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these examples. So now we've heard from 3 transboundary basins that are quite challenged: the Nile River Basin, the Jordan River Basin, and the Sava River Basin. And so I think it's very fascinating, the examples that you share. So we will go to the second round of questions. And Tanya, please, following up what you said before, can you tell us more concrete examples of how Slovenia uses innovative technology for advancing transboundary water cooperation?
Yes, I already mentioned the microsatellite. It is being operated by a center of excellence on space technologies. And it's not doing only high-resolution high-resolution satellite imagery, which is quite cost-effective. But it's also developing innovative digital twin models to help knowledge sharing and transboundary water, advanced transboundary water management. And they will be applying this twin model to Sava River and to Ganga River, and then replicate it in 22 river basins across the globe. And my government would also like to see this digital twin model implemented in Africa, on African transboundary rivers, within the Team Europe initiative project. And another solution I would like to mention is Slovenia is hosting UNESCO second category center on artificial intelligence. It's an international research center. We've had very high quality research on artificial intelligence since the 1980s. So this center is developing a so-called water observatory. It's an online platform which, through the use of artificial intelligence, helps governments, local authorities, and river basin organizations collect, process, analyze, and report water data.
Thank you, Tanya. And I think that that's really fascinating, and I'm sure many would like to hear more. So please do reach out to Tanya and the government of Slovenia if you would like to know more about this program. And now back to Ziad. You described this fascinating program that brings together different stakeholders from Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. And can you tell us more about how this educational program contributes to transboundary water cooperation in the region?
Yes, so this program, it's part of our education programs in EcoBees. And what's innovative and what's really impressive in EcoBees that we don't have only one approach to work on. So we have two approaches, the bottom-up and the top-down approach. So where we, in the bottom-up, we work with the community, we work on ground, implementing projects, we work in education programs for schools, teachers, students, and youth professionals. And the other approach, which is the top-down, we work with technical and policy makers, decision makers, to advocate the policies. And what's also important in our job is, and it's our mission and it's our objective, that we promote cooperative efforts to protect our shared regional environmental heritage. And this cooperation between all countries can make sure that we will have a regional sustainable development, and also can create the necessary condition for a long-lasting peace in the region.
Thank you, Ziad. And I think that if anyone would like to hear more, please do reach out to Ziad and do reach out to EcoPeace Middle East, and I'm sure that you will be able to share more information. And now back to you, Calist. You described this fascinating program that benefited people across the borders. And can you also help us understand how the benefits of this assessment to help your country, Uganda and Kenya?
Thank you very much again. So under this assessment, we were able to come up with a basin investment program containing priority projects that have transboundary significance. We have been able to package these projects into a band of projects. We have 4 projects that have been put together, and right now we are marketing these projects. We have so far had one of the projects funded actually by African Development Bank. It's an multi-purpose water resources development and management project. But right now we are also the 2 countries with the support of the partners that have been working with us. We are submitting a project proposal to the Global Environment Facility, again as part of moving the process forward. We have also been able to develop a basin sustainability strategy. We have also established an institutional framework that brings the 2 countries together, so that once we have the projects up and running, then they're implemented jointly by the 2 countries. we have a memorandum of understanding which has been cleared by the two countries, and we'll be signing it before the end of the year. So we are moving forward. Right now, cooperation is happening because the people themselves are the ones who have actually realized that we are stronger together and we benefit when we work together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we still have a little time left. So I actually would like to ask you, you described these very successful stories. And now if I think many stakeholders for different transboundary basins are listening to this talk show, and I would like to ask, could you think of your advice to those who are negotiating on shared waters? And what would be your advice to those? And maybe using some of the technologies or programs that you described, if you would very shortly give a brief advice to those negotiating.
Well, use the technology that's available. Of course, we're also willing to share, but technology can often actually change the balance in a certain river basin where the balance maybe used to be in favor of one of or the other countries. So use the technology to your advantage, and use the fantastic tools that exist at the water convention, water convention, and do join the water convention because it's a fantastic instrument for cooperation.
Thank you, Tanya. And Ziad, what would be your recommendations?
So my recommendation is when it's come to negotiating is to listen to each other, to find shared issues and work on it together, because we all share the same planet by the end, and it's our planet, it's our duty to protect it. So we can find shared things around us. So we need to listen, we need to hear each other, we need to understand each other, and then we can find solutions together. Thank you, Ziad.
And Calist, what would be your recommendation?
Yes, first of all, we have really been cooperating in the boardrooms. And I really would want us now to move cooperation to the people on the ground so that they see the benefits. Of course, we need global frameworks, and that's why Uganda is in advanced stages of acceding to the UN Water Convention. Again, we want to have a legal framework that will enable us to do things on the ground. So probably it is high time now to move cooperation to the ground so that the people can get us really to do what we are supposed to do, and also get them to know that we need to work with our neighbors for sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Calist. So I think, thank you very much for these recommendations and for this excellent talk show. I think you gave us some very specific examples and very specific recommendations. And to those of you who are listening to us online, I sincerely hope that maybe next year you could be here with us in Stockholm. And if you would like to meet us somewhere meantime, the Transboundary Water Cooperation Coalition has many different events and activities at the different global events. So please do not hesitate to reach either to different members or to UNECE, and we would be very happy to share more information. So I think that this is all from the studio. Thank you very much for being with us, and have a great day.